States, we learned that they were divided into four parts: part A, part B, part C, and part D. So, what are these? What state are these? So, part A consisted of Assam, Bihar, Bombay, Madhya Pradesh, Madras, Odisha, Punjab, United Provinces, that is UP, Uttar Pradesh, we can say that, West Bengal. State in part B were Hyderabad, Jammu Kashmir, Madhya Bharat, Mysore, Patiala and East Punjab, Rajasthan, Saurashtra, Travancore, Cochin, Vindhya Pradesh. States in part C were Ajmer, Bhopal, Bilaspur, Kuch Bihar, Kurg, Delhi, Himachal Pradesh, Kutch, Manipur, Tripura. And territories in part D were only Andaman and the Nicobar Islands. So all this part A, B, C, D division was an ad hoc डिसीजन. एडॉक मतलब जो टाइम पे सिचुएशन के अनुसार लिया जाता है. इट वॉज नॉट डिसाइडेड. फर्स्ट द foremost थिंग विच वॉज इम्पॉर्टेंट वॉज इंक्लूजन of the princely states into India, into the Indian territory, into the Indian region. और ये एडहॉक इन्होंने सिचुएशन के अनुसार एडहॉक डिसीजन लिया और स्टेट्स को पार्ट ए बी सी डी में डिवाइड किया. सो अब जो चीज़ जल्दबाजी में की गई थी उसको बराबर तो करना होगा, तो इसको बराबर कैसे किया गया. सो थ्रू आउट द टाइम there were few commissions, especially the southern parts of India were asking for state reorganization on the basis of linguistics. मतलब जिनकी भाषा जो है उनका एक वो स्टेट रहेगा. फॉर एग्जांपल द तमिल स्पीकिंग पीपल विल बी इन तमिल एरिया, तमिल सम स्टेट named by anything. Telugu for Telugu region, Telugu region for Telugu speaking people, Malayalam region for all those who speak Malayalam, etc. So the government introduced one committee which was known as Dhar Commission. So S.K. Dhar in June 1948 was given the responsibility to look into this matter, and in 1948 December he came up with a report that states cannot be reorganized on the linguistic basis. Once again there was uproar, once again सिफारिश थी, रिक्वेस्ट थी कि फिर से कोई कमीशन बैठाया जाए. सो इस बार बहुत बड़ी कमीशन बैठी. कमीशन का नाम था JVP कमेटी. जवाहरलाल नेहरू, सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल और पट्टाभी सिद्धारमैया, a big congressman. So these three sat, and in April 1949 came up with a report totally rejecting the idea of states to be reorganized on the linguistic basis. Now, how things will move forward was a big question, but it was for sure that this is not going to happen. Like, the linguistic reorganization of the states is not going to happen. But unfortunately, a Congress guy, maybe Congress person of standing, his name was Potti Sriramamulu. He died after a prolonged popular agitation, a hunger strike more than 56 days. He wanted a separate state of Andhra Pradesh for the Telugu speaking people. It was the time of 1953 October, and Unfortunately, because of his unfortunate death, the government had to create a state based on linguistic preference named as Andhra Pradesh. After this, there was a big uproar. All the people of all the other states were asking for reorganization of the states on the linguistic basis. So once again, government came up with a commission named as Fazal Ali Commission. Fazal Ali Commission, in that Fazal Ali was the chief, followed by Mr. Panikar and Kunjuru as the members. It said that it submitted its report in September 1955 and broadly accepted language as the basis of reorganization of states. But it rejected the theory of one language, one state. Its view was that the unity of India should be regarded as the primary consideration in any redrawing of the country's political units. It identified four major factors that can be taken into account in any scheme of reorganization of states. That is, preservation and strengthening of the unity and security of the country, linguistic and cultural homogeneity, financial, economic, and administrative considerations, planning and promotion of the welfare of the people in each state as well as the nation as a whole. So, this committee wanted to divide the states into 16 parts and 3 union territories. 3 territories which would be centrally administered by the State Reorganization of Act 1956 with minor changes in the recommendations of the Fazal Ali Commission. There, the distinction was understood between Part A and Part B states. Part C states were totally abolished, and some of them were merged with adjacent states, and others were designated as union territories. There were in all 14 states and 6 union territories till after the November 1, 1956. The State Reorganization Act 1956 established the new state of Kerala by merging the Travancore Cochin state with the Malabar district of Madras state and Kasargod of South Kannada region, that is Dakshin Kannada. It merged the Telugu speaking areas of Hyderabad with the Andhra Pradesh state to create the Andhra Pradesh state. Further, it merged the Madh Bharat state, Vindhya Pradesh state and Bhopal state into the Madh Pradesh state. Similarly, it merged the Saurashtra state and Kutch state into the state of Bombay, the Coorg state into that of Mysore state, the Patiala and East Punjab states union, which was known as PEPSU, into that of Punjab state, and the Ajmer state into that of Rajasthan state. Moreover, it created the new union territory of Lakshadweep, Minicoy and Amindevi islands from the territory detached from the state of Madras. Now, in the further slide, we will be learning about the emergency of new states in India as per the advent of time. So, though the states were divided into 14 and 6 as union territories, but with the advent of time, due to many political agitations and many people's demand, the states were once again identified into separate regions. Separate states were made, starting with Maharashtra and Gujarat. The state of Bombay was bifurcated into two, into the states of Gujarat and Maharashtra. Gujarat for the Gujarati speaking people, becoming the 15th state of India, and Maharashtra for the Marathi speaking people, with Mumbai as its capital. There was a huge tussle between both of the states for taking Mumbai as their capital, but at last Mumbai came to the Maharashtrians' hands and went as a capital to it. in 1960s. Now, coming to the other point, that is Dadar and Nagar Haveli. So, Portuguese ruled Dadar and Nagar Haveli till 1954. The administration was carried out after that, after its liberation till 1961 by a representative chosen by people. Afterwards, it was made a union territory. Then Goa, Daman, and Diu. These states were ruled by Portuguese, and with police action, India acquired these territories in the year 1961. In 1987, Goa was given the recognition as a full state, and the areas of Daman and Diu were deemed as union territories. Then the other one comes Puducherry. The territory of Puducherry comprises the French territories of Yaman, Mahe, Puducherry, and Karaikal. The French handed this territory to India in 1954 till 1961, I guess, till 1962. It was taken as an acquired territory, but afterwards it was made a union territory. You have to understand there are only two union territories having a functional state legislature, that is Delhi and Puducherry. Then Nagaland. In 1963, the state of Nagaland was formed by taking the Naga hills and Swangsang area out of the state of Assam. This was done to satisfy the movement of the hostile Nagas. However, before giving Nagaland the status of the 16th state of the Indian Union, it was placed under the control of Governor of Assam in 1961. Haryana, Chandigarh, and Himachal Pradesh. In 1966, the state of Punjab was bifurcated to create Haryana, the 17th state of the Indian Union, and the Union Territory of Chandigarh. This followed the demand for a separate Sikh homeland, that is the Punjabi Subha, raised by the Akali Dal under the leadership of Master Tara Singh. On the recommendation of the Dhar Commission, the Punjabi-speaking areas were constituted in the unilingual state of Punjab. The Hindi-speaking areas were constituted into the state of Haryana, and the hill areas were merged with the adjoining Union Territory of Himachal Pradesh. In 1971, the Union Territory of Himachal Pradesh was elevated to the state of a state. Manipur, Tripura, and Meghalaya. In 1972, the political map of northeast India underwent a major change. Thus, the two union territories of Manipur and Tripura and a sub-state of Meghalaya got statehood, and the two union territories of Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh, originally known as the Northeast Frontier Agency (NIFA), came into being. With the number of states of the Indian Union increased to 21, that is Manipur the 19th, Tripura 20th, and the Meghalaya as the 21st. Initially, the 22nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1969 created Meghalaya as an autonomous state or sub-state within the state of Assam, with its own legislature and council of ministers. However, this did not satisfy the aspirations of the people of Meghalaya. The union territories of Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh were also formed out of the territories of Assam. Till 1947, Sikkim was an Indian princely state ruled by Chogyals. In 1947, after the lapse of British paramountcy, Sikkim became a protectorate of India. Means that region was protected by India, whereby the Indian government assumed responsibility for the defense, external affairs, and communications of Sikkim. In 1974, Sikkim expressed its desire for the greater association with India. Accordingly, the 35th Constitutional Amendment Act 1974 was enacted by the Parliament. This amendment introduced a new class of statehood under the Constitution of conferring on Sikkim the status of an associate state of the Indian Union. Now, coming to the areas of Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, and Goa. In 1987, three new states were formed. Arunachal Pradesh, Goa came into being, and Mizoram also came into being. The Union Territory of Mizoram was conferred the state of a full state as a sequel to the signing of Memorandum of Settlement, that is Mizoram Peace Accord, in 1986 between the central government and the Mizo National Front, ending the 2-decade-old insurgency. Arunachal Pradesh had also been a union territory from 1972. The state of Goa was created by separating the territories of Goa, Daman and Diu. Goa from the union territories of Goa, Daman and Diu. Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, Jharkhand. In 2000, there were new states named Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand was divided from the Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh from Madhya Pradesh, and Jharkhand from the areas of Bihar. Telangana. In 2014, the new state of Telangana came into being after being bifurcated from the mainland Andhra region. Telangana has its own capital in the name of Hyderabad, and Andhra Pradesh has its capital being the Amravati region. And Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh, we all know that till 2019 it was a single state. Afterwards it got bifurcated into two union territories, Jammu and Kashmir being the one and Ladakh being the other one, with Kargil and Leh as their main points, and in Jammu Kashmir, Srinagar and Jammu being their main points. So all these, there were change of some names, like Uttar United Provinces was named Uttar Pradesh in 1950. In 1969, Madras was renamed as Tamil Nadu. Similarly, in 1973, Mysore was renamed Karnataka. In the same year, Lakshadweep, Minicoy and Amindivi Island were renamed as Lakshadweep. In 1992, the UT of Delhi was redesignated as the NCR, National Capital Region, the National Capital Territory of Delhi. And in 2016, Uttaranchal was renamed as Uttarakhand, and Pondicherry as Puducherry. In 2011, Odisha was renamed as Odisha. All these. So by completing this topic, we are ending our chapter. Most of this topic was based on understanding, and I hope you have understood. Thanks a lot. Thank you.